is Laura, originally from Italy and currently in Paris. I graduated in 2017 and I studied politics, philosophy and economics. And I'm doing now a master at Sciences Po in international development.
Hello, my name is Miriam Hornsby and I studied international relations.
Hi, my name's Edward. I studied philosophy, politics and economics.
Hello, I'm Steph. I'm from Greater London and I studied in Durham from 2015 to 2018 when I was studying international relations.
Hello, my name is Max. I'm from Essex. I studied philosophy and politics at Durham University starting in 2015.
Hi everyone, my name's Pooja Kumari and I work in policy and public affairs. I'm originally from Gateshead and I studied history and politics through the combined honours route. I graduated back in 2011.
The three things that I loved about Durham, for which I'm super grateful, are number one, the social experience. And we all go to university to study and for the academic experience, but actually what I cherish the most, and I'm sure it's true for most of us, is the memories and the friends that I made there. Then I was saying the second reason I really like Durham is the quality of the teaching that I experienced there. It's honestly very unique. You have not that many lectures, but then you have seminars and you have the opportunity to have one-on-one relationship with your teachers, which for me was super valuable. This allowed me to build my capacity to write essays and to analyze critically in a lot of depth. I really had no idea what to do. It's not something they teach you much in Italy, and is instead something that the British system and Durham are very, very focused in, and I think super good at. Then another element of the quality of the teaching that I really enjoyed is the multidisciplinarity. And then the third reason is the possibility that it opened me afterwards. I think what was very good about Durham for me is that they have a strong career service, which if you engage with, which is not it's not that something that everyone does, but it's there for you, and it's if you go and ask them for help, they will try to help you build your career and your experiences so as you like. So for example, in my time at Durham, the summer after the first year, I spent it in India working for an NGO that tries to protect working children's rights, and then the second summer, jumping completely off topic and showing the capacity of Durham's Career Centre to really help you direct. I spent it in investment banking in Goldman Sachs. And I really owe that to Durham, because it's one of those application processes that you really have to know and practice for, and Durham helped me in that, and that was really instrumental for being able to do the stuff that I did afterwards. So
I'd actually never studied politics before starting my degree, and something which stood out to me right away was how friendly the department was, how the professors were available by email and in person to help me in any way they could, to answer my sometimes very stupid questions without making me feel stupid. Middle Eastern politics was my main area of interest, and in my final year, I took some of the most fascinating modules on the politics and society of Israel, the Gulf monarchies, and the history of Islamic thought. However, looking back, my knowledge and skills for writing about this area built on the modules which I studied in my first year. The grounding in theory and history which we received in our first year prepared us brilliantly for some of the more in-depth research that we undertook in the later years. I think this is something really special about politics and international relations, the combination of IR theories and the use of history to inform qualitative and quantitative research. The course also gave me the opportunity to study a language module in first and second year, and I was delighted to be able to study Arabic, which I've kept up since leaving Durham. The School of Government and International Affairs introduced me to new ideas in a way that was accessible to someone who was quite new to social science research. And I was lucky to have some incredible professors who really helped me develop my writing and research skills. In particular, I believe the second year research project was vital for preparing us for our third year dissertation. We were able to write proposals, use peer review and seminars to really hone our projects, and my tutor was on hand to recommend readings, theories and ideas that I may not have come across otherwise. This was exactly the same with my third year dissertation, where my advisor, an expert in the field of study that I was exploring, was the perfect sounding board, and was able to point me towards resources which became essential components in my dissertation. The dissertation can be a very daunting project, and I think this is what is most special about SCIA. The professors are very adept at nudging you towards important realizations, supporting you without interfering, and really letting you blossom into your writing as a new researcher. I wrote my dissertation on the refugee crisis in Jordan, and during my summer holiday, and when I graduated, I've been volunteering for a refugee charity in London, which supports refugees to find stable and fulfilling employment. Having graduated from Durham last year, I've been volunteering in order to gain experience in the refugee sector and supporting myself through waitressing work. I'm currently applying to study a master's in the politics of conflict rights and justice, and I'm pursuing a career working for human rights NGOs or in international refugee work.
In terms of my experience, I found that the politics department really distinguished itself and was my favourite department out of the PP&E. And I think there are two main reasons for that. The first is I found that the seminars were really, really, really enjoyable. All of the other politics students were incredibly passionate about their subject and clearly relished the opportunity to get together once a week and talk about their opinions on the articles or academic debates that we were having week on week. And it was really clear that, everyone was really happy to be there and giving everything to each of their seminars, and it created a really sort of lively atmosphere that I found more in the politics seminars than any others. Every lecturer that I came to contact with and seminar leader was incredibly passionate about their subject, incredibly passionate about teaching, and also incredibly responsive. So in terms of my postgraduate experience, I decided in my final year that I wanted to go to business school and complete a master's in management after I left Durham. But yeah, they're incredibly supportive with this process, and I'm due to start at London Business School this September, which I'm really, really excited about. And I know that just wouldn't have been possible without not only the support of the SCIA department through my final year, and also the continual support and mentorship that they've offered to me as a postgraduate, as I've been applying for business schools and master's programs.
I really enjoyed the degree overall. I thought the teaching was really good, and all the support that you get from the tutors and the lecturers is amazing. I'd never done politics before, so it was all very new, and obviously it's quite a big part of the course, but I got loads of support with that, and so I felt like I picked it up quite quickly, which was really nice. Also, the variety of modules you get as you move through your degree is really helpful. You find areas that maybe you didn't even know that you were interested in, and then you can study them later on and specialise in them, which was really great, and I found that really beneficial as well. Also, in terms of the way it's taught, so the division between the lectures and the seminars, and also there's lots of room for self-study as well, which I found really, really useful. It meant I actually learned how to self-study, which was great. When I was there, I got really involved with the Drama Society, and when I finished my degree, as soon as I graduated, I went on a tour. And that was really nice to be able to do whilst I was doing my degree and find the balance between the two, which I think is really great. Yeah, now I'm working as a tutor, and I started that quite soon after finishing uni. And I think my degree has definitely helped in terms of the content that I'm actually now teaching, but it's also helped in terms of the skills that I need. So self-study and self-management are two things that I didn't really know how to do beforehand, but definitely can do now. Also structuring my own work and structuring other people's work, general organisation and being able to actually study and take enjoyment from that is something that I've definitely taken from my whole uni experience. I'm now pursuing a career in acting, and I'm hoping to do a postgraduate in acting at a drama school later this year. Fingers crossed.
The politics course at Durham is fantastically varied, both in terms of the module content you can learn and also how those modules are taught. So the module content at Durham really does enable you to explore political interests that you perhaps didn't quite realise that you had. For example, when I started at Durham, I was hugely interested in British politics. However, and don't get me wrong, the British politics modules at Durham are excellent, and I undertook most of those, and they were great and academically stretching. But I also found that I was able to pursue interests in US politics or Maoist China political history in the European Union or the international political economy. Like, the list it's not endless, but it's pretty long. And so I found that at Durham I could explore my different political interests and discover new ones, and do it at a depth that I just wouldn't have been able to otherwise. The course is unquestionably academically rigorous. It's challenging and stretching, and I found that shouldn't be. I found that it wasn't daunting or intimidating per se, because although there'd be moments where I think, blimey, like, I'm not really sure I understand this reading, or I'm not quite sure I can get my head around this particular political concept, for example, the academic staff were always on hand, always available via email, or if you needed to contact them, you could, if you needed to speak to them one-on-one, you could speak to them in their contact hours, or just email them and arrange a meeting. They were genuinely always very accommodating and available, and could explain things in a way that I can understand, perhaps if I didn't initially on my own. Each module leader, each member of academic staff teaches their module, teaches their segment of a module perhaps in a slightly different way. And I think that's really useful in keeping the module fresh and interesting and continually and enabling you to continually motivate yourself. In terms of what I'm doing now and what the course has enabled me to do, so I graduated last year, and I'm now studying for a master's in broadcast journalism at City University. The grounding in politics I got at Durham really it gives me confidence to speak quite liberally, quite freely about a lot of political concepts when we're covering stories as part of my course. The course at Durham, politics at Durham, really has endowed me with a bank of political knowledge and understanding, and also skills outside of politics, critical reasoning, for example, logic, that I don't think I would have had if I didn't do the course. So for anyone looking to study politics at Durham, I would say absolutely go ahead and do it, because it really will expand your political interest in a way that I don't think you quite would understand until you do the course. And in general, I think it's really fun and a great way of expanding your political interests and improving academically.
When I was doing my degree, I really enjoyed the mix of topics that was provided by the School of Government and International Affairs. I could choose modules that were theoretical or focused on a particular topic. So I do actually remember my favourite modules. They were the Israel-Palestine question, and also there was a module that was completely focused on social movement theory. My favourite aspect of my degree was my undergraduate dissertation, and I was able to focus mine on New Labour's education policies, specifically around marketisation and the impact they had on social segregation within the state secondary school sector. So at the moment, I currently work as a policy manager at the Royal College of Emergency Medicine, but my career has changed quite a lot since I left Durham. I started my career as a secondary school teacher. Working as a teacher, I was intrigued by the mismatch between government policy and my experiences on the ground as a teacher, and I wanted to learn more about that relationship between on-the-ground experiences, research and government policy. So I pursued a Masters in Social Policy Research at the London School of Economics. Since I graduated, I've worked for a range of different think tanks and charities in different sectors, using research to devise policy solutions in order to impact legislation. Every career move I've made has been motivated by the desire to create a socially just world and to improve people's lives on the ground. And I think influencing policy is the best way of doing that. In the future, I'd ideally like to set up my own charity focusing on social justice issues, supporting vulnerable people, and continuing to throw rocks at the government in order to ensure that policies are well informed and have maximum impact on the ground.